Hi everyone, it's Tish with Naptime Creations. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. It's free and it'll help me out a lot, so hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be making a resin crescent moon, so let's jump in and get started. So this is the layer 1 on the first day. I'm going in with 2 ounces of clear resin mixed with Decadance Sparkler Glitter from Dryer Days Art Studio. And when you make these moons, you want to make sure you really get that resin into the pointy kind of corners of the mold. Resin sometimes doesn't like to flow in there, so just take your time and really make sure resin gets into the tips of the mold, because it's a bummer when you demold it and there's a tiny little spot where there's not resin. That has happened to me before. So just take your time, make sure you get resin into those little pointed areas. I'm going to hit this with my heat gun on low to pop bubbles, and that's going to be it for layer number 1. Here we are the next day. We're going to go in and do layer number 2. Same thing, 2 ounces of clear resin, and I'm using the blue sapphire mica powder from Laura's Art Corner. It's one of my favorites. It's a super gorgeous dark blue pearlescent color, and I'm using the TotalBoat TableTop Epoxy. It's great for projects like this. I'll link it down below along with my coupon code. And I did mix up my resin off camera just to save time, but if you're new to resin and you want to see a tutorial showing step by step how to mix your resin, definitely check out my Milky Way coaster tutorial. I'll link it down below in the description box. I show you step by step how to mix your resin and your pigments in that video. And right there, I was just showing you how gorgeous that Decadent Sparkler Glitter is. It was dried on my stir stick from the first layer that we did yesterday. Super sparkly and beautiful. Again, hitting it with my heat gun on low to pop bubbles. And that's it. I let it dry for 24 hours. Here we are ready to demold it. And the silicone mold that I used has this gorgeous floral design engraved in the mold. So now we're going to go and fill that in. So what I did was I took some Amsterdam brand acrylic paint and a paintbrush, and I just scrubbed or painted paint all over the surface of the moon, and just really make sure you scrub that paint into those engraved areas. Now we're going to go in with a squeegee and just take off the excess. And you can see it's not coming off 100% clean. Don't worry, don't panic, don't mess with it anymore after this. Let it dry. This is the next day. This is 24 hours later. The paint is totally dry. I'm going to go in with some 91% isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel, and I'm just going to paint this, go over the surface of the moon, and that's going to take off all of the excess paint that is sitting on the surface of the moon. And the paint is going to stay in those engraved or recessed areas that we painted, but then going in with the 91% isopropyl alcohol, it'll come right off of the surface of the moon. Super simple and easy to do, but you want to make sure that the paint is dry before you go in with this 91% isopropyl alcohol. If you do it when the paint is wet, it gets really messy and a lot of the paint will come out of the etched or engraved areas. So just let the paint dry completely, then go in and do your 91% isopropyl alcohol on your paper towel. And you can see it comes off super clean. Just take your time, make sure you get all that paint off there. Here's how it's looking. So what I'm going to do is paint the back of this with some Elmer's school glue. Let that dry for 24 hours. That's what I like to use instead of tape. And that glue is going to act like a barrier so resin drips don't bond to the moon while we're doing the top coat. And that's what we're doing right now. We're going to go in and give this piece a clear resin top coat to seal in that acrylic paint that we added. So I just poured down about an ounce of clear resin. Now I'm going to go in with my gloved hand and just smooth it out all over the surface of the moon, all over the sides of the moon, making sure that every spot has some coverage of resin on there. Then I'm going to go in with my heat gun, pop bubbles, And for these, I go in with my heat gun on high. That seems to really pop the bubbles. You can use a torch if you want to too to pop bubbles. It's really up to you. I find that the heat gun works pretty good to pop bubbles, so I don't tend to use my torch as often, but you can use your torch if you want to too. I'm going to go in with a little bit more clear. So total for this moon, I used 2 ounces of clear resin to do the top coat. I'm going to smooth everything out again with my gloved hand, go in one last time to pop bubbles, and that's it. I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll be ready to peel the glue off the back. And when my pieces are drying, I cover them up with upside down storage totes. So like those plastic Rubbermaid storage totes, I make sure that they don't have any dust or debris inside the tote. You can take like a baby wipe and wipe it out really quickly. And then I go in and just cover my pieces. So that way, while the resin is drying, no dust or debris lands in the top coat or anything that I'm working on, or any resin projects I'm working on, basically. I'm going to hit this with my heat gun one more time on high to pop bubbles, and that's it. I'm going to let it dry for 24 hours, and then we'll be ready to peel the glue off the back. So here we are the next day. You can see all of those resin drips from the top coat on the back side. This is why I use the glue. The glue is a barrier. It prevents those resin drips from bonding to your piece. And you can see the resin drips peel right off along with the glue. When you guys try this glue, definitely don't leave it on your projects very long. Peel it off as fast as you can. The next day after you do your top coat, get that glue off there. The longer you wait, the harder it is to get the glue off. So I just wanted to add that tip in there. You can see this little spot right here. I had a little bit of sticking going on because I let this sit for 3 days before I peeled the glue off. I usually don't have that problem. So make sure you peel that glue off of there as soon as you can after that top coat is dry. But here's how it turned out. I think it's super beautiful. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, I'll link all the materials I used down below in the description box, along with any coupon codes that I have. Let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all so very much. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And go check out a few more of my other videos. That would really help me out a lot. Helps out my channel if you watch a few of my videos back to back. And I do have this one and several other of these moons listed in my Etsy shop. If you want to go check out my Etsy shop, I'll link that down below in the description box as well. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys are all doing fabulous, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye, guys.